Welcome back, guys, to This and Much More podcast. I'm Evelyn and my co-hostess,
Rollie Vogues.
and today our special guest is
Low G, yepa, homeboys.
Let's go, Low G.
yes.
Man, we're glad you're on the podcast, bro.
Yes, thank you for coming.
It's kind of crazy, you know, porque pues, I used to listen to you like growing up and everything, so it's cool to have you here at the house and then on the podcast as well. So
Thank
Yeah.
you guys for inviting me, for having me, for having me out here.
oh yeah, for sure.
So while we were like off camera, we were talking about you, like where you're from. Can you tell us a little bit about like de donde eres?
I was born in Honduras, and migrated or imported to the United States back in '89.
What part de Honduras?
Tegucigalpa, la capital.
Oh, okay.
My father is from La Unión, El Salvador.
My family's from La Unión.
Yeah, from La Unión. So
What's his last name?
Flores.
Oh, okay,
That's
my
my last
family
name.
is Gutierrez.
You have Flores too.
We have Flores in the family too.
It's a big family.
I wonder.
You will be related. When I walked in, I said, "It smells so good." He said pupusas, and then my stomach was like, "Oh my God, why you say that?"
That's so funny. I was like comiéndome las because I went to my grandma's like I was telling you, and she made pupusas. So I'm like, oh, just give me 4, and you know, I'm like, I'll come back for them later. She's like, no, aquí las tengo. I'm like, okay. So I just ate literally so fast before you came.
You're gonna make me go to there's a place in Harrisburg. It's called Oloquilta.
Yeah,
Oloquilta.
yeah, and like está next to the bar.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, bro.
I took his mom there
Oh my
because his
God.
mom loves eating like
Yeah, I get the agua de
Salvadorian
frutas.
food. Yes.
Oh my
It's,
God. Okay.
it's so good. Yeah.
It always leads like
Yeah,
that,
it
right?
always happens. Yeah.
Siempre hablamos de puro food and stuff.
Yeah.
But
So then your dad's from La Unión.
My dad, you know, rest in peace. He was born in La Unión, and so you know, years later, my mom remarried, and he remarried my stepdad Gordo, and he's from Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas. So it's a lot of culture and
How close is that to Vallehermoso?
I
you know?
want to say about 2 hours.
Okay, that's where his family's from.
Oh, is that right?
yeah, we're by Hermoso.
And it's hermoso in English is beautiful.
Yeah.
By hermoso is a beautiful valley. It's beautiful, bro. The food, I mean, the people, the culture there is it's
Yeah,
amazing.
because they say
Well,
it's a lie, right?
They say it's a lie, yeah. Esa es la ciudad de las tres mentiras. Porque they say it's called Ciudad Vallehermoso, but it's la ciudad de las tres mentiras because it's not a city, no es un valle y no está hermoso.
That's usually what they say,
That's
right?
the nickname of
They might
Vallehermoso or
be
whatever.
hating on this city. I don't
They
know.
hate him.
The people who aren't from there say that.
For real? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a nice.
I liked Vallehermoso.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
It's a
nicer.
different vibe. It is small.
Yeah, because we go by Hermoso, that's where my mom's from, and then my dad's from Santa Polonia, and Santa Polonia is a very small town. So
town.
Vallehermoso compared to Santa Polonia, pues Vallehermoso is like it's like a big, nice city. You know, the
town.
plaza and stuff. The church is all big, so I'm like, it's
Yeah.
nice, you know. But yeah, people
So
are just
then-
hating. you
Yeah.
know?
So then your stepdad's from Ciudad Victoria.
Ciudad Victoria.
Oh, okay.
Tamaulipas.
Ta, 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 man.
Real proud people from Tamaulipas. I love the whole state and what they taught me and what it means to my family and my kids. My son tells me so, Dad. So I'm Salvadorian, Honduran, Mexican American, and Mexican. I say, yeah, you have a lot of things to be proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because your wife is from where? From here?
She was born here. She's her family comes from Matamoros.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Matamoros is right there también. But yeah, so bueno, you grew up. Well, what side of Houston did you grow up in?
So I lived in the southwest area,
Okay.
Hillcroft, and 59.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
And how was that like growing up? Porque at what age were you living there? Like,
I was 11.
And that's the time when y'all came over here?
Yes. Well, we landed in New York in '89. We stayed
Damn, New
there for
York.
like 6 months, and my mom had the feeling because it was, you know, they say it's the it's the busiest city. My mom had an ugly feeling that she always, because I'm the only son, she always to this day try to save me from, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
So she's like, no, this is not an environment I want to have my son. It was the gangs.
Yeah.
It was bad.
yeah.
So, man, she moved us to Raymondville, the Valley, which is close to McAllen. So
Yeah.
I went from the high rise to the nopales, like in a week.
Yeah, because we
Boom.
drive there. We pass through Raymondville.
Yeah.
To get to.
That's
It's
true.
a little town, beautiful, but it was too much for me to going from looking at the
It was a sudden change, right?
like all because when I was in Honduras, to me the whole United States was Disneyland. That was my idea of United States, Disneyland, like everything. And when I seen the high rise and everything, the smell the food and because there's different food. And when my mom took me to the valley, it was like I was sad. I was super sad. And I'm like, Mom, why you did this? We should have stayed. And then she explained to me why she took me to the little town. He said, we moved from Honduras for a reason, and we moved from New York here for a reason. And little I didn't understand what my mom was trying to do. But yeah, I lived in Raymondville for about a year. And then from Raymondville, we moved to Houston, which it was in the southwest area, right there, 59 Hillcroft.
And then going to school, right? Because we were talking off camera about like the whole like ESL and everything. So did you come here? Obviously, you came here not knowing any English, right? So how was that learning everything? Like
because you were already older. You were already. I feel like it's easier to teach a kid that doesn't know English at like in elementary, kinda. And I'm assuming you were kind of already going to middle school.
Yes.
Yeah. So that must have been harder.
I went to Lanier Middle School, which is right there on Richmond. So it's one of the good schools. It was one of the. I found out later there was a magnet school, but they didn't have ESL there. The teachers were amazing. That you could tell they loved you. Why teachers, but didn't have an ESL class, so I was way behind. So my mom said, you know what? There's no jobs in this area. Let's move to where the raza is at, which was the southeast area. So we moved to it's Telephone and Greeks Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm more familiar with this area than Southwest. So Telephone and Griggs, yeah.
So we used to be we used to live in some apartments. They're not there no more. He used to call TNT next door to a Hutex Hotel, which is the cemetery. It's right around the corner.
The Lawndale Cemetery?
It's the Lawndale Cemetery. You familiar with that? Yeah.
I worked there.
We used to play hide and seek there because my mom would not let me go anywhere else and hang around with the kids. So we just jumped the gate and we go play hide and seek there. And not knowing that it was like spooky. We don't go. We would go there at night and play.
Yeah.
But I lived in that area and it was a little busier. And from there I went to Didi.
Oh my
Didi.
God.
And when I got to Didi, it hit me. They were picking fights. It's the neighborhood. It's the hood.
Yeah.
It's the hood. What did they call it? And I don't know what the hood was, but the kids there knew real good English, and I didn't last there for 6 months. Yeah, but God works in mysterious ways because I was following His path. He was guiding me to where I was going to be, which I went to Jackson. And
I went to Jackson.
In Jackson, they had ESL. And that's where I met my wife. And
y'all met in middle school?
yeah.
If you don't mind me
snap.
asking, how old are you?
I'm going to be 49 this year.
Oh, okay. So you're from what, 75? Oh, because I'm like, I was wondering if you went to Jackson when my mom was at Jackson. Because my mom went to Jackson and she had Coach Davis.
Yes.
Yeah, and whenever I went to Jackson, Coach Davis was my coach.
Yeah,
she had stayed there like all those years.
You have Coach Simpson, the gordito, the white guy with the...
No, he wasn't there anymore. But I know Coach Davis was my mom's coach, and she loved my mom, but she hated me. It was just
Coach
like,
Davis,
she was La Morenita, right?
Yeah. She was leaving. She was still there, and because Simons took over. So yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So
I
I went to Jackson too.
And now they call it a different name, Yolanda.
Yeah, le cambiaron el nombre.
Yeah, le cambiaron el nombre.
A la school?
At Jackson, yeah, it's a
Because
difference.
Jackson was a Confederate name.
Oh, wow.
A lot of schools changed their name. Like Robert E. Lee, I believe they changed Robert E. Lee's name as well from Southwest. I used to go to school.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I know they changed the one from Jackson.
Yeah, it's Yolanda something. I just went there to relieve the hallway because so I went to Austin and then destroyed part of it. So I went in there like a month before because I knew Trevino, the the principal, and I said, let me take my kids. So we had lunch where we used to be with my girl and all this stuff. So I video it, and I took few bricks from the old one, and I took them home, and it means something to me for my daughter. So we could say we went to this school when it was the regular school. But yeah, in Austin they had ESL, and that's when it was a culture shock for me. Like, I didn't know what segregation was. I had no idea what the word was, and to where we walked to lunch and come back to the little. It was kind of like a little trailer, and it was 30 of us there.
Like the classroom,
the
like
building,
the little T building.
Yeah, it didn't belong. It wasn't inside the school.
It was
outside. Yeah.
So we were not even inside the school. We were outside, and it hit me in many ways of why we can't be inside the school, why can't we be in the same gym, and why can't we be in the same lunch? We were the last lunch, and at the last lunch we really didn't have so much to eat. It was whatever was left over from A, B, and C.
Yeah. And
that's what my gang activity became. My gang activity became to belong to that group, to wanting to be like, why I'm so different? Why they alienate me from being with the guys? So one guy said, man, you got to get yourself some Jordans, bro. You can't be in this group. And I'm like, hey, my mom goes to Wieners to go buy me clothes. Well, my mom goes to, what was the other place? Purple Heart. She was used clothes. So I'm like, fuck, I'm stuck in this little square. And I was doing what kids from the street do. And I was selling drugs, stealing cars, just to have nice things. And be able to take my girl to Astroworld.
That's
super
crazy.
track.
Yeah, super track.
The one right here on, oh my God.
45IE.
That's crazy.
To the movies at Gulf Cake.
AMC, yeah.
AMC.
Wow, I went to Austin too.
Wow, yeah. Mustang, wow.
Well, I didn't graduate from there though. I only went there because Milby wasn't like, it was like, long story short, Milby was like, no. So Austin was like, we have tests. It was the week before tax happened. And because Austin has kids that don't show up.
Yeah.
So they took me in and they gave me the test. But I didn't graduate from there.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but he used to pick me up from Austin too.
She used to skip. Y yo ahí iba, in my
in
car.
Into little Lincoln.
Badass Lincoln. Bro, one time my Lincoln used to like overheat, right? And so I would carry a gallon of water with me. And then she told me, hey, you need to come pick me up right now porque there's a little window of time. And I'm like, all right, but y voy. And then it starts heating up. I'm like, fuck. I pull over in some neighborhood, like right behind the school.
Pop the hood.
And I'm over there popping the hood. And I know to wait a little bit because the water's boiling, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm on a time, like, you know? And so I take my shirt off. And I'm like going like this. Y que salta el agua. And then burned me and everything. And I'm like, fuck. I fell on my ass. Me raspé todo aquí. And I still went. Did I pick you up? Or
yeah. No? You're like, my car overheated. And
I'm like, all beat up. And I'm like,
you know,
let me
you know what? You guys be older, way many years, many moons from now, and enjoy that. That is the seasoning of what life makes.
Yeah.
And that story, my story was, I told my homeboy, let me use his Cadillac because I wanted to go pick up my girl the last day of school. So because the last day of school is a skip day, everybody go to Galveston. So I'm like, bro, I do whatever. Let me use your car. He said, Logi, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let you use it. But if you put cheap gas, it's gonna start turning off on you. It's gonna. So I was like, well, I try to put expensive gas. I didn't have that much money.
Yeah.
So I put $10 of the cheapest gas, knowing I said, so I go and I'm coming on the front, right? And I park and the car is stuttering, so I turn it off. And my girl gets in there, real pretty, real happy. All right, girls. And then she gets in there and I'm like,
oh my God.
And she's looking at me like she's looking around and I'm like, oh my heart sunk so deep. And I'm like, eek. So, okay, hold up. So I pressed the gas and it turned, right? And when it turned, it did that. Boom! And people were like, what the fuck? And my girl put her head down and I was so down. I'm like, I'm so sorry, babe.
Yeah.
It's all right, babe. It's the last day of school anyway. I graduated anyway. And her friends were just laughing because we went to a party after that. He goes, that was so fucking funny because everybody thought that they were shooting and shit. Everybody fucking in the ground and shit. I was like, I would never forget that. Those are special moments, man.
Yeah.
You know? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I remember when it happened, but we didn't talk about it, right? But it was like, we were
Well, I was like scared because I was skipping. So, and I was on probation too. So I was like, the window of him picking me up was so crucial because I was like, if I get caught, I'm like, well, CP was there when I was.
Yo también, honestly, like growing up, I was like a good kid. You know, I didn't like the skipping shit. I never skipped. I was good. I followed rules, right?
Wow.
So yeah, but she was like the more like rebelde,
daring,
you know?
Daring, yeah.
She's like, pick me up right now, and I'm like, oh shit, like, you know.
Y sus papás muy bien que lo dejaban también. Like his parents knew that I was skipping. So
over here confessing, hey, Evelyn's gonna skip, so can I go pick her up?
You know what? That's amazing. That's amazing of you guys' story because I was the rebel and my girl was like the good daughter. She didn't like to skip. She would tell her mom, I'm gonna skip. Okay, well look, whatever you do, I don't know anything if your dad catches you. So you know, and I think those makes the relationship more special, and you go back to those. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, honestly, I never really thought of it like that until you talked about it ahorita. Así que it's like something special, and it's like a memory thing, right? It's like.
But I was a good kid. No más que.
But just little daring.
No, it was more like fighting. That was the problem, you know, the fights, and I was always like, if somebody wants to throw hands, I'll throw hands, and that's why I would get in trouble for fighting. But obviously, it's easier, I think, for like a girl to fight because it's like son más aventadas, I feel.
I mean, but then you have your guys too.
Oh, that's true. You do have guys. Because at Jackson, when I was there was nothing but fights.
Yeah, you know, my head in the books. I'm just like.
But of course, he was from a different neighborhood. Okay. You know, he was in like he went to Stevenson and. It's a school like around here, and
I was on to Stevenson Middle School and Chavez High School.
And then the high school that we went to together where we met, it was an early college high school. Okay. It was one of the first ones. It's right there by Navigation.
Yeah, that's my neighborhood, Second Ward.
Yeah. So it was right there.
So we both went there, and that's where I got kicked out of for fighting. Yeah. Pero that school, you had to apply to be able to get accepted. They interviewed you and everything. So you had to have good grades, good recommendation. And I was there, but the fighting is what got me out.
And let me ask you something. What were your fights about?
Girls were hating. Like, literally.
Why?
Honestly,
you would fight for me, right?
No, I did not fight for him. I did not fight for him. But I'm going to say that because of him, I got in trouble. Porque some girl wanted to fight him. Wanted to fight me for him. And I was like, girl, we're just friends. You can have him. Like, we're just friends. But she wanted to fight. And that's when I got in probation at that other school.
So my girl tells my daughter, that Salvadorian blood you got in there is what gets you fighting. And she always said that. And I was like, well, because she's real calm. My girl's real shy. She's soft-spoken. She's not. But whenever you push her button, because she's tall, she's going to throw hands. But it takes pushing and pushing for her to, okay, motherfucker, let's do it.
Yeah.
But you know what, too? My mom, she went to Jackson, and my mom siempre se peleaba.
It's because you had to defend yourself there.
So then my mom always told me, like, if you fight, you better, like, 1, never back down. 2, you better win, or I'm gonna whoop you, right?
Yeah.
So I was always like in the back of my head, like,
that.
if somebody's gonna fight me or they want to fight me, I'm not gonna back down, whether the girl is bigger or not.
Better give it all.
Don't get me wrong, I've gotten my ass whooped, you know, before, but the girl was like, I don't know, 3 years older than me. But I still didn't back down because I was like, I'm going to fight her.
In kid ages, that's a lot.
You can't.
In kid ages, that's a lot.
Yeah, because I wasn't even 15. I think I was like, 14? And the girl was like 17 when we fought.
Wow.
Yeah, and she was my sister's age. My older sister, she was there. And she ended up fighting me. But I always just had that mentality like, oh, I'm never going to back down. But I knew that I always had like haters, you know, like, no, I'm not saying I'm like the prettiest, you know, but I knew that brought me problems, like, because girls were like either intimidated or whatever it was.
Envious o lo que sea.
Yeah, porque I literally like llegaba y la gente decían rumors like about me in la school que eran de puros like nerds and smart people. I had haters.
Nerds, me a nerd.
You are a nerd.
They're like nerds, and smart people. I'm like, I'll
mean,
take the
I'm
smart.
I'm
Hey,
smart
that's a
too.
good quality. That's a good quality.
I mean, I'm smart too because I went to that school, but he would see it too. Like, I had girls literally just like starting drama, and it was girls older than me, like starting like rumors about me. Y yo siempre decía, no, y ni eran girls like that were book smart, you know, and it was nothing but.
It is crazy. That's what I was gonna say. Like, even though it was a good school and everything, like, how is there still problems there? Like, or little.
Nada que ver como con Austin. Austin, if there's a fight, like, you know, at Austin, like, I went there and if somebody says something, it's like, what did you say about me? And it became a fight, right? Yeah. In our school, no. Ellas decían y luego les daba miedo because they weren't the fighting type.
And then, nadie.
Yeah, because I would approach girls that were his class because they would, I didn't even, nada que ver con él. It was just like, oh, yeah, like, she thinks this and she's that. And I'm like, well, who's saying what? Like, para mí era, if you're going to say something about me, tell me to my face. Because if I'm going to say something, I'm going to tell you to your face. Wow. That was the problem. And that's why I got into fights.
I remember one quote that it was real popular. Mimi a Matamoros. I'm like, fuck.
Oh my God. Yes, I was at Matamoros a few times.
And if you didn't go, it was over with.
Yes.
You were a punk. They were gonna hound you to the next to you.
That
left
was the
school.
worst.
So what is that?
Yeah. It's a store. So Jackson's right here. Okay. And Matamoros is like...
Yeah, you have to go to Matamoros to go buy you chips and, you know, kick back there waiting for you for the bus because across the street was, they used to fix appliances.
Yeah.
So, and the phone was there.
Yeah.
So that was busy. That was owned by the main guys. Yeah. Across the street you couldn't. So we would have to go around to what the Matamoros was at to not to be messed with. But somebody told, hey, meet me at Matamoros. Fuck, bro.
You had to show up at Matamoros, yeah.
People already knew, hey, man, it's going to be
Did you ever get called out at Matamoros?
Yes, man. I got a fight. I got beat up. I ain't going to lie. Yeah, I won some fights and I lost other fights. But I was at Matamoros regardless. I was at Matamoros. I was like,
oh, wow. I never heard this.
No, yeah. So for me, one girl was like, meet me at Matamoros. And I'm like, and I was like, nah, let's do it right now. Like, you know, because I was like, it was... I knew my mom wasn't gonna let me go to Matamoros because she knew Matamoros, right?
Was gonna happen.
So then that one time the girl was like, "Oh, meet me at Matamoros," and I'm like, "No, let's do it right now," you know. But nothing ended up happening. But let's do it right now. Shut that off because I just knew I'm like I can't fight her at Matamoros. I have to fight her here. Porque mi mom no me iba a dejar ir a Matamoros. Like
you remind me a lot of my daughter. She's about to turn 18. My wife tells us, you got your dad's big mouth. You need to just chill. Because me, if I got to say something, it's right now. Mm-hmm. What? No, let's get in right here. Come on. And my son, he's 24. He got his own house right here in Roper. He's real quiet. He's like mom. He don't like no confrontation or conflicts. My daughter, give you an example. Yesterday, the lady was dragging her chihuahua. And all of a sudden, I heard the window like, bitch. Why you pulling it? Mija, get your ass inside the car and put the window up. He goes, Dad, he's just dragging the chihuahua. I said, was that her chihuahua? No, that's not a I was like, put your window up. And my wife always said, your mom, she's feisty. My mom will let nobody and anybody do anything to her. I mean, she was going to fight. Yeah. And my wife seen my mom fighting. He goes, damn, my mom. Like, what you trying to say? My mom is ghetto or what? No, I don't want to say. I don't want to say like that. I said, but my mom wouldn't done that. I said, yeah, because my wife's family is like Catholic. They go to church. They're good people. I mean, I'm not saying that my mom is not good people, but
it's different.
Where we come from, we raised to don't let nobody mess with you. And if you feel some type of way of you have to defend, do it.
Yeah.
And that's the way I was raised, proud of, because I was always with my mom. Remind you, I'm the only son, so we were always selling tamales. We was always in the street vending, and I was always there, helping her or just keep her company. And
it's a different upbringing, you know.
No,
like,
it's definitely how you said. I think it's like switched con nosotros, because my mom is like that. I mean, she's like very church, you know. Yeah. So I remember I got jumped one time outside of like the Stevenson, right? It wasn't even jumped. I got in a fight, but somebody else was like, "Oh, I got next on him, whatever." You know, they wanted, And I remember I got in the car. My mom ended up picking me up afterwards, right? I just walked away, dude. I took the L and I walked away. And then my mom picked me up and then she's like, ¿Qué te pasó? You know, I was like going like this porque I had like got a little bump aquí. And she's like, what happened? I'm like, oh, like some dude, you know, fucking whoop my ass, whatever. And she's like, oh, hell no. So se regresó. But she's like a nice church lady, right? But she's like going like wanting to cry. She's like, she found the boy and she's like, tú le pegas a mi hijo, le pegas a mi hijo, whatever, you know. And I'm like, what are you gonna do, ma? Like, but yeah, it's like that. Like, my mom never taught me, or she was never the type to get into fights or confrontation, cosas así. But I know her mom was like,
my mom was part of the Pink Ladies at Jackson.
Yes.
So my mom was a part. My mom was a part of that. Yes. So then my mom would tell me, she's like, but again, it's because I don't know si mi mom me decía just so I could to take care of myself, you know, cause
defend yourself.
Yeah, like it was always like either you and I my mom knows, because I would always send my mom like screenshots or text messages of girls saying things about me, and I was like, man, I'm so nice, like, you know, but that would bring problems, like, and it was like if somebody wanted to fight me, I always had to tell my mom beforehand, so she would be okay with me fighting, and I wouldn't get in trouble. Siempre pasaba así, like I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna fight this girl, and she's like, okay, you just be careful or something. Like,
I believe that to this day, I think we have an aura about ourselves that people just don't like, whether you're nice, whether you're not. It's this, they hate the fact that people gravitate to your energy. So they're like, why I'm not as popular as she is, or why is they always, you know, with her over there, and I think that I find that to this day, like, I'm real good at I'm a people's people. I conversate with everybody, and I know there's some people in the music business and some people overall that don't like me because I'm real cool with other people, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. Like, I feel like there is just people in general that are just envious, you know, and unfortunately, like, that was my upbringing in school. Even if my cousin, like, he was a boy and I was older than him, we would walk to school together, and that was a problem because they liked him, but I was his cousin, and it was like just nothing but problems. But again, I never backed down, so that's why I ended up at Jackson and Austin.
I came over here not knowing what I was gonna do, but I love the vibe and everything.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, with that being said, let's go on a quick break. We'll be back, guys.
Yes, sir.
And we are back, so we're gonna go ahead and what was your question, babe?
Yeah, let's talk about some music, right? For one, I want to know. I think for everybody watching knows that you're part of like the whole Dope House family, right? How was that the beginning of your music career, or were you rapping before you got into Dope House?
No, that was actually my beginning. I met Carlos in the streets of Southeast. A friend of mine named DC introduced me to him. Rest in peace. And I was still learning how to speak English. Yeah. My wife, thanks to my wife, taught me a whole lot, and wanting to be around her because she didn't speak Spanish, taught me a whole lot to speak, right? So I met him, and what he loved about me is the hustle. He would give me 20 CDs and tell me they're 5 apiece. I would go get rid of them. Yeah. So one day he's like, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do I got locked up. I got locked up for fighting. So I did 2 years. That was from 94 to 96. When I was in jail, I heard coming up, coming down that G and H town. I heard it on 97 at the box. And I was telling all my homeboys there, bro, that's my homie right there. Bro, I don't know that. He's on the radio, blah, blah. So I told myself I was doing a lot of exercise. I was, pumped up, and I couldn't wait to get out. So I got out and I went to his house, and he was happy to say, man, Lochi, you back, don't get in trouble and this and that. He's like, I'm doing my Hustle Town album. That's the first time I heard the word Hustle Town. He goes, and I want you on, and I'm like, bet, just teach me, how to do, what to do. So we wrote the song, and that's why you hear the lyrics. Guess who's back from the pen, out the wind, sipping gin with my kinfolks. And I wrote the whole thing, and to this day is one of the favorite songs from a lot of people, because I said second word, getting high on the patio. And when I said that, I really didn't know that I was gonna captivate, and nobody was speaking about the neighborhood in that level. Yeah. Because you had Aggravated before.
Okay, yeah.
And Slinky was from Second Ward, and the rest of the kids were from Southeast. But I just wanted to put my neighborhood in the map, even though I wasn't born there. I was raised in Second Ward, and yeah, we did that was my first song.
Oh, that was the first song.
First
Block of Rock, right?
Block of Rock.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's literally the song I was just showing you right now.
Yeah.
You know, I have a funny story, right? So my older cousin, he showed me that song when I was a little kid, right? And then I don't know, that song, just the beat itself, everything, right? But your verse is one of the top verses, right? And pero él me dijo, I'm like, Lil G, he's like, I think Lil G messed up on the ad libs, porque there's a part cuando dices, ¿qué dices? You say
in the middle of the night with no lights. Or
Nah.
No, which one it is?
Dice, I have to look it up. Pero you say, here, let me look it up real quick. Pero
I know what it is. I know what sentence it is. In my low ride, or
let me see.
Sipping low G is something you don't know, but it's one of them.
24/7. Nah, it's before that.
Guess who's back at the pen, at the wind, sipping gin with my kinfolks. Gangsta grin on my face when I come through. If you ain't down,
You know what's funny? I didn't know kinfolk was what it was until I went to Jackson.
What's up,
Kinfolk?
Well, funny story. Why he finds it?
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
What is it?
My bad. It says, check hoes daily on the regular, talking to your lady on the cellular, right?
Yeah.
So on the cellular, if you listen to it, so yes, cellular and regular juntos.
No,
And
I was supposed to be on the regular talking to your lady, on the cellular creeping on the low ride.
Yeah.
And it was a twist. Yeah.
like a tongue twister or whatever.
Yeah.
And remember, my language.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some words were not so perfect.
Yeah.
And I was trying to perfect them. And Lo said, no. Your
Leave it.
fucking accent is just it. I want it just raw. And I was like, let me change it now. And he knew better than I, because he's lyrical, and he knew. He goes, the rawness of you wanting to say it, that's what I want.
Yeah.
He told me, this what we're doing is gonna be legendary. I didn't believe him. I mean, a kid from the street, the rappers like Tupac and NWA and Snoop, I was just living the moment. I didn't think that was gonna be my life to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So I didn't believe so much as he did, but all power to him, because he sees something in me that I didn't see in myself. I was really doubtful of like, man, but he was like adamant, say it like that. Yeah, I stumble in there and they try to fix it, and he said, no, leave it like that. I wanted to sound raw like that.
Yeah, no, it's so dope, porque ever since we started the podcast, or even before, yo le decía a ella, I'm like, I don't know how or what, but if I ever meet Lil G, I want to bring that up and just ask that question, you know?
Yeah,
just,
he did say that.
Just about this. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But it totally makes sense, honestly, like, so the language barrier and just struggling through it or lo que sea, But I didn't know that was your first song, though.
That was my first song, yeah.
Oh,
and from the same album, Merry Go Round was my next song. Merry Go Round. And I liked the song, and I always had to say something in Spanish there, because Carlos didn't speak that much Spanish. His Spanish was like mucho. So he will say words in Spanish because we want to capture. Remember, South Park Mexican. The Mexican didn't speak Spanish, so he had to have an element of the Spanish in there.
Yeah.
So I was the element there. He would tell me, what did you say? In the playa? Because playa, when you spell it P-L-A.
Or like playa.
It's like playa.
Playa. And he loved it. He goes, fuck, you the only rapper that I know that you could get away, that you could make something rhyme when it don't rhyme. And he would love it. He was like, keep it like that. I said, Merry go round. Sometimes I forget my lyrics. Smoking that Buddha, sipping that Buddha. Buddha and Pura don't supposed to rhyme, because those are not words that comes together. Buddha was back in the days the butt, and then Pura is drinking liquor. So he was amazed how I put words together. Drinking that pura, booyah, another killer from Honduras. He's like, bro, it's magical how you do it. And remember, he's lyrical, and he would love what I rap. And he gave me that space to be me. And he said, dog, fuck, this is it. And smoking fire, people stare as we kiss on the playa. And he's like, leave it like that. I can't leave it like that. And it was those moments that inspired me to want to rap because we were struggling, he was struggling,
but the motivation, the inspiration, right? That he was just like so inspired.
Adamant, like we're gonna be somebody, man, dog. We're gonna be the biggest shit in H-Town. I'm like, okay, Los. So we were recording. I will go back to doing the streets, selling drugs and the gang, and I will leave it alone. And at the same time, struggling to provide and help my mom but yeah, those were my first songs. Merry-Go-Round and Street. Merry-Go. So I want to go back how this happened. So Black or Rock was the first song. Merry-Go-Round was the second. But in reality, it was Streets on Beats.
Okay.
Because I was watching Speedy Gonzalez and that's my favorite cartoons to watch. Andale, because I learned a lot of Spanish from Speedy. So he said, man, the album is missing something. It's missing something. I said, what is it missing? An intro. And I'm like, what the fuck is an intro? I said, the first thing that people's going to hear in the album. Put it on, bro, because I'm tired. I need to go home. I got to go home. It's already 2 a.m. I need to go home. My girl's bugging out. So he put it, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go in the booth. What are you going to say? I don't know, bro. Just keep it, use it. If you don't, I don't give a damn. So he goes in there and he puts, yepa, homeboy, she's your homie, Lil G, putting it down for the Nina Nueve. We give him props, but we did this quick, slow trip. If we forgot your click, and I said more things, I left. And the next thing he said, the album is going to go master. I didn't know that he kept it. And then when he's mastered and it's all in the big speakers, play it. And I'm like, you kept it, bro? He goes, bro, it's it. That shit right there. And to this day, I'm the first voice on one of the most selling albums out of the Dope House in there. And it means something to me because the yepa comes from Speedy Gonzalez when he's running around that. Yepa, andale. And a lot of people ask me, where did you get it from? And I got it from.
Yeah, I was about to ask you where you got that from.
That's crazy.
And it stayed there. And to this day, people just approach me and say, can you say that? And I'm like, that's all you want to do? He goes, yeah, bro, I just wanted you to hear it. Because when I was little running around when my dad was getting drunk, I was yepa, and I would be around the whole house repeating the yepa. And it makes me emotional that I tell my wife what I did 25 years ago today became legendary. Now my daughter's proud of it. My mom is proud of it. Everybody who see my growth in life, that I didn't know a rapper was such a thing, because back then it was like, you're a rapper? Shit, get a real job. I was
yeah.
But yeah, life literally changed my life because it gave me an opportunity to be myself and to provide at the same time for my family.
Yeah, because whenever you were doing the music, no pensaste like, oh, this is gonna make money, or you were just doing it.
Because he was more like, just do it, and you're like, all right, okay, what do I do, right?
He convinced me. I didn't know any other rapper other than the ones I would see on TV.
Yeah.
And when I know it was serious, I was welding. I had a job welding early in the morning, 5, 6. The 97.9 The Box, the morning show will come out at 7. Mm-hmm. So I'm there welding, and then I hear Merry-Go-Round on 97 on The Box. And I'm hearing it, but not paying attention. I thought it was somebody with the cassette. Mm-hmm. 97 on The Box. I took my helmet and everything, and I'm like, nigga, put it back. We want to listen to it. And then people said, I was telling home, but that's me in the radio. I said, shut the fuck up. Let me listen to the radio, bro. And nobody in there knew who I was. And I told my girl that play. He goes, I heard it in the school, baby. And yeah. It was emotional, bro, to this day.
No, yeah, bro. I can.
That's crazy.
Understand.
Algo
así. It's just like something of I don't know. So, sometimes I wait for a moment like that for our life, you know? Like un día, the struggle, bro, the I don't know. I can't even también. Like, it's just the struggle that one goes through, all the hard work you put into certain things, and you don't see an outcome, you know? And we're every day we talk about it, and we're like, man, you know, every now and then, at least once a week, I'm like, man. I always tell her, just today I was telling her, I'm like, you know, I always say it, but we're building shit. Ahorita we're building a lot. Like this podcast, we're building it up. No es como que like episode 150 you made it, you know. It's like, no, it could be episode 340s, whatever, like it, but we're building it un dia something's gonna,
like, okay, like, we have you here now. When we've talked about like Roland's like, if we ever have him, I'm gonna ask him, and now we're here and he asked you, like, just little like milestones that we reach, you know, accomplishments,
yeah, bro. And pero yeah, like that moment you had, like, un día nos va a pasar, you know, and it's like, but it's cool to hear, you know.
Leave the moment and look forward to that moment, because that moment is gonna come when you're not least expected. And that was my life. After that, when I heard the song on the radio, I would hear the cars, you know, because back then the lowriders had the big old speakers, and I would hear them pass by, and I would hear the song Black Rock. And in my neighborhood, there was a guy, and I'm not going to mention his name because he's still around. He will go around telling people, I'm Low G, and he will go to neighborhood parties, because back then it was neighborhood parties. It was not the club. It was house parties. And he would tell people that play that song, and I would perform it. And I'm like, so my girl was like, man, we gotta go whoop these motherfuckers. My girl's like, babe, why? I mean, babe, you gotta tell people that that's you. So we did in 1997, we did a after school. SPM wanted to do a show in Second Ward. So we pulled up. By then we had the money. We pulled up in a limo. We were dressed up nice, and we put on all the speakers. And we doing the show when they got out is Dumbo Street. So it was at the end of Dumbo, right before Eastwood Park, before the railroad tracks. It was a record store there. So we set up and we doing the show, and everybody's getting out of school from Jackson, and there was a lot of crowd. It was maybe like 100 kids. And he's like, you gonna do the song. So I'm doing it, and this is my first time performing. So I did it like with my soul, and people are like, man, that's fucking Wilson. That's Wilson. And I could hear my name from the bottom. Wilson. And my girl, she had the expression of proudness in her eyes. Her eyes was glaring. And I'm like, Wilson, hey, homeboy, hey, Wilson, so Joe Wilson. And Carlos seen it too. He goes, man, they fucking love you, bro. They love you. And then I was like, a lot of people didn't know that my name was Wilson. Low G was what you heard, but the people that were calling me Wilson, they knew me from the streets. And then that moment was surreal, because I still didn't know I was somebody, but I felt good because all the kids knew that I was me, and autograph this and autograph that, and I'm like.
Because you went back there to Second Ward, and that's where y'all performed. Like, that's crazy.
And autograph, and I'm like, baby, I just autographed somebody's yearbook. I just autographed somebody's backpack and a purse, and then from there the deal came in was Universal, and it was too fast. When I tell you that I know what people experience in a big level, and that's why fame is real. Fame is the worstest thing that can happen to an artist. Because they get big-headed, they get all the girls, they get all the drugs, they get too much in so little bit of time, and they lose themselves. What was the whole purpose of them doing music? And that was me. I was afraid of fame, that I was gonna lose my identity, and no telling was. And then a few months later, we in New York with Fat Joe, Tracy Morgan, and I went back to where I started, and I was in the building looking down. Instead of being down, looking at the building that I left from, and I did a whole round, and it was mine, all the money and everything, and things started to happen that I was dealing at home. Like, girls would go by my house, and my wife she wanted to come in, but I told her, let me see, because I didn't know
how it was.
Yeah, so if she will be here to tell you, girls used to leave letters in my mailbox and undergarments and.
Oh my God!
Pictures and it was crazy. It was too much for me. It was. I was like, damn, this is what really famous people go through, and fame. I was in love with everything, the money, be able to provide for my family, it was more anything more. Providing for my kid. I just had my son, and buying the crib and making sure that my wife had a car and all that. You know, it's out of music. I was getting checks for shows and it was amazing that I made something where there was none.
Yeah.
God gave me that blessing to say, babe, we're getting a $5,000 check. I don't even have a bank account. A personal check to say $5,000. So I go try to catch it, and I didn't have a bank account. So what the fuck we catch it? So we had a store in the corner where they cash check, but they keep say $5,000.
Yeah,
he keeps $500. Kind of like a lot if you think about it. So I only make $45 and they keep $5, but fuck. $4,500 in 1997 was a lot of fucking. So we go and the guy said, Wilson, where you get the check from? Oh, I did some music. He goes, you know what? Give me 5 days till I confirm it has funds. Fuck it. 5 days. I go back 5 days later, and me and my girl like, babe, they cashed the fucking check. So the homeboy's like, if you got more, remember he's making $500. I don't know how much percentage of that is, but it was too much. Because if you go to the bank, they're only gonna charge you maybe $5 or something when you don't have an account. I didn't give a shit. The next week I get another $5,000. He telling me, I know that these checks are good, but where the fuck you getting these checks from? Because there says Dope House Records. And he goes, the company. What company is this, Wilson? The guy knew me. I make music. He goes, just keep bringing the checks. I don't give a damn. As long as they pass the and he cashed all my checks. And one day we had a conversation. He said, you know how much you cash at my store with checks? What? $100,000. I say, so how much you made? I made almost $5,000 out of you just cashing checks. And I'm like, Fred, no shit. He goes, yeah, bro, I still got them because I thought that one day they were going to come. I thought you were making them. What the fuck? Like, how do I fucking make catch?
Yeah.
And it was, like, I'm telling you, surreal that I was, be able to, go cash a check and go get the money. And I was out of town. We were everywhere. This is before the Facebook, before the MySpace, and I was telling this to a Mexican OT the other day. Bro, you so blessed with what you have. We had to drive to Kansas and shake 1,000 hands personally. These fans will never forget that they shook our hand, that they took pictures, and now I can meet a fan, I could talk to him, and I don't know how much that means to them or how much that means to the new artist. But I don't think that it's the same when you went to somebody's house or you went to somebody's shop and you shook their hand.
It's a very different experience.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
I will never forget, and I know they will never forget that experience. And as we live in a whole different generation, but it was amazing to be able to go to Yakima, Washington, or to go to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and bro, you know my music, bro. We know your whole fucking verse, and they will sing word by word. And I'm so far from home, Idaho, Pocatello, fucking Omaha, Nebraska, and we would do the shows, and they knew the lyrics, and it would just bug me out that we were so far from home.
And they knew.
And the love, and they knew the lyrics. They loved us because they seen themselves in us, like little kids and grown-ups. And
I know, because I was gonna say it's funny because the merry-go-round, like, obviously I haven't smoked in a long time, but at Jackson, like me, whenever we did smoke, that was like a song that we would listen to. I mean, you know, like, it's just so funny because we're like in middle school. Like, what are we doing?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. You see those things?
Yeah.
Those things is what the fuel me not to stop going. Somebody said, hey, what is the age of the rappers that you should stop rapping? And I'm like, that kind of brought me aware. I said, well, Kid Frost is 60, and he's still rapping, and he's one of the main guys who brought up the rap game to what it is now. I said, I think there shouldn't be an age limit. I said, look at Willie Nelson. He's 80. Yeah. He's doing music. Why rap should have, that genre of rap should have a limit on when you stop doing what you love.
Or even it's like actors too. Like there's actors that are like acting. ¿Cómo se llamaba? Betty White. That was the lady.
She just died.
She just passed away, and she did it for her whole life.
Look at James Olmos.
Like
look at Danny Trejo. Those are a good friend of mine. Look at Lou Diamond Phillips. I mean, those guys are still older, and I think that they have a lot to accomplish.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be stories of them being that old, and they just like music. Back to the music. I just put out a song that it was 6 years in my book, and my wife begged me to put the song out. It's myself and Lucky. Shout out to that boy T. Shout out to Lucky. Doing what they doing for the city, and I just put it out 2 days ago. And
¿Cuál es? It's not.
it's brand new. It's called Baby Girl.
Okay,
So,
okay, yeah.
So I started promoting it, and today, earlier, Texas Wine Wheel. This calls Baby Girl. Texas Wine Wheel shared it. It said fifth wheel Friday. You know, Texas Wine Wheels is the one to make the spokes.
Yeah, that makes the spokes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And blew my mind because I'm not expecting love from anybody. I'm just dropping music. So I'm getting calls and was like, "Hey man, Texas Wine Wheels, the ones that make the spokes, they just they shared it on the story. What song is this? It just came. How come you didn't promote it?" I'm like, I like to just do it like that. I like the song just take off, and so I know it's good. So I was a good sign, and nobody. This right here, I'm giving it to you guys. It's out. I put it out 2 days ago.
Nice.
Oh,
well, yeah, make sure y'all go listen to it.
Yeah, no, yeah. By the time this comes out, it's already been out.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm pretty
true.
sure the streams are up and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, porque, yeah, that's dope, bro. I like that you still putting out the music and everything, you know. And I did think about that también, how people, porque eso about the age and all that. Like, I feel like people expect artists to start young, como 18, 20s, and then como que they have to stop at pero I think what's his name, like 2 Chainz empezó like at 35 or some shit. I'm not even 35 yet, like, you know, so it's like there's always time for anybody to do anything, you know.
And
but
if you just have the passion for it, you just gotta go for it.
Yeah.
Dreams are dreams that you're gonna realize. There's no age to it.
No.
And then sometimes those dreams don't even come to you until you reach like a point in your life that you're like, oh wow, like I could wake up tomorrow and say I want to be a doctor or something, like, and I'm like, you know, about to be 30, like it's different, like it's just everything happens as your life changes, right? So, but with that being said, guys, we're gonna go on our last break and we'll be back.
Yes, sir.
And we are back. So tell us, how is it for you now that, you know, like your lifestyle? What is whenever a day for you, like a regular day? Like let's say a Tuesday out of the week.
Well, I always been family oriented, you know. Like I told you, I'm the only son. I grew up around my tias, you know, like 8 tias. So I'm always been family oriented. So it's normal. I always wanted to take my family somewhere. So whether we go to the river, we go to the movies, walk my dogs. But I just look forward to help people. I pray at night and I pray in the morning before I leave my house to bring me back home safe and to guide me to somebody who needs to hear something or maybe I could help. That's in my normal day. Now, other days I'm getting ready to go out of town for some shows, or either I have a show to do in the city, or I have a video to do for some people from out of town, or I have to go speak at, not too long ago I went to the U of H and spoke to the kids about the Chicano culture. I'm always involved with the community, always doing something for my community or the community of Houston, the Hispanic community, Latinos, whatever they want to call us. And I try to stay pretty busy and engaged, whether it's with my family or with the community.
Oh, okay. So going back into like, I know you said you like to cook, right? What do you cook more, like Mexican, Salvadorian, or Honduran food?
I cook it's like a mixture. Now it's a mixture because my favorite plate to cook is pollo guisado. So, but now I went from my mom's recipe to our own recipe. Like my wife and I, so she cooked the rice and I cooked the chicken. But sometimes we go all the way Honduras or Salvadorian. She likes yuca frita with the chicharrón, and then, you know, so I get to cook that for her.
So do you know how to make pupusas?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because I can make tortillas, because I make tortillas for her, but the cheese is always popping out of the tortilla, so I give up. I'm not a good pupusa maker. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. But
When my mom makes them, I'll let you know, because in August we're gonna start selling. We sell pupusas, and but we stopped during the summer because my sister's not in school, so we sell to the school a lot.
Oh, man.
So we're gonna start in August. I'll let you know.
and they know my wife and I's favorite spot is in the neighborhood, Oloquilta, and we there like. My daughter says it takes a long time. That I said, but they're good, huh? He goes, yeah, it's worth the wait. Like we.
Not because they're my moms or my grandmas, but they're better than that one. Than no
Okay.
Loculta. I'll let you know.
That's
I'll
not-
let you be the judge.
We went to El Salvador and she didn't even let me try the ones over there.
I was so
I'm
loyal
like, oh,
to my
I'm like, we're
mom.
in El Salvador. Can I try one? She's like, nah, they're not gonna be that good. I'm like, oh,
They're
okay.
different. They're
I'm like,
Well,
okay.
because of the way they, I guess because I take pride in how my mom and my grandma prep the chicharrón. You know, like the way they just like, when we do pupusas, like we'll the yuca frita and the chicharrones, and then like we'll prep the chicharrón, like, and then tiene con el, you know, the thing, and we're taking turns doing the whole, you know, what's it called?
Oh, yeah.
Like the molino, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah, molino, yeah.
Yeah, like taking turns doing that, and
So I do it by hand, like for real.
yeah, we just gifted her the one
molino.
that the one that you can just press it in.
Oh,
But we still take turns pressing it so it doesn't get stuck.
It's nothing like the molino. And also, she cooks the Mexican side. Like,
Oh, okay.
Like her enchiladas are the best.
The
like,
green or red?
The red.
Oh,
Red,
okay.
yeah. I don't know so much into the green, but the red, oh my god.
We've never had the red ones, right?
Yeah, we never had the red one.
Her enchiladas, we fiend for it. I'm like, and we do, you know, the tacos.
What about Honduran food?
Honduran food also called baleadas.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what they are.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
The big tortilla with the crema and the cheese, and sometimes we do the Honduran breakfast, which is plátano
frito.
And she loves it. I mean,
He doesn't like it.
she loves it.
Yeah, I don't
My
like
wife,
plátano frito.
that's her favorite.
I love
She
it.
like, she crazy. Like, baby, can we go and
I get it right here at the Manuel's. When I'm craving it, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna get it from right here. And
I just went to Southwest and bought a bunch of plátanos, so I like to put them in the oven and let them cook in there.
oh, okay, I
And just
haven't
put
tried
the
that.
crema in there, or you know, it's like a variety of things. But I like to cook Chinese food. I'm good at cooking some Chinese. I like to do the Italian cooking. So I my favorite things to do at home is when I'm at home. She tells you, she's like, baby, you gonna watch the cooking channel all day? Yeah, baby, I'm stuck on it. I'm stuck watching the cooking channel or Ridiculous. And we always tease her because she watched the ID channel.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And I'm
me
always
too.
hearing, he killed her this way, he killed her the other way, she got kidnapped. And I'm like, babe, are you really gonna watch that channel all day, babe? He goes, she enjoys watching. I'm like,
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I just told him like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I was so caught up with listening to like nothing but murders and crime, and I told him, I'm like, I need a break, because I'm like, ya me estoy traumando yo sola.
You ever
like-
hear? You ever see like those little TikToks or the reels on the? It's the girl, like it's a mom or whatever, and she's all dressed nice, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go grocery shopping," and tiene su audífono, and she's listening to like murder stories and shit.
oh my god, don't
Yeah,
give my
like-
good idea.
So I was gonna ask, do you like pollo con tajadas?
Oh man,
I
that's-
introduced him to him, and
Oh,
he
man.
loves
I
that.
love pollo con tajadas.
Yeah.
There used to be a place in
want some
Second Ward that the lady used to call La Catrachita.
Uh-huh.
And we used to live right around the corners, and we used to just go and get it, and we ate
Wait,
it.
does she live in like an apartments?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
because we sorted from a lady that used to live in apartments, and it was like the pollo con tajadas.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, I just know she lived in apartments. So
Yeah.
when you used to order, I was like,
So we ate it so much that now my son, man, I mean, you put the whole thing in there. That's his favorite thing. Like, where you gonna go eat that? I'm gonna go to Las Hamacas.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's right
Yeah.
there on Monroe. And okay, can you bring me some tajadas? And that's our favorite. Like, yeah, you definitely.
Have you tried the bus that's down the street?
Where?
There's a Honduran bus down the street, like on Edgebrook.
I kept telling you about that.
Is that the new one, man? I'm gonna have to try.
It's like a blue bus, huh?
It's like a blue bus. We tried it. It's good.
I mean, that's the only ones I've had.
No, you've had Vero's mom's too.
Oh, sí.
Yeah.
But those are good.
Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah, but realistically, papaturros. Have you tried papaturros?
Yeah.
Papaturros got some pretty good Salvadorian food.
Yeah, he's never been there.
I thought it was like I thought it was a dish.
No, it's a restaurant.
It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that?
It's in Southwest.
Yeah.
Southwest, guys.
Wait, which one?
Is
In
one
Southwest?
yeah.
Oh no, I went to the
original
one. No, I went to the one that's in Magnolia.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I've been to.
Oh, so yeah, the one with your grandma, right?
They changed. Yeah, it's still like in Magnolia, but it's
it used
like
to be in Macario Garcia.
yeah, and now it's in it's Canal Street, I think, and then it's like in the corner.
By Magnolia, yeah.
It's
by
in
the park,
Magnolia, yeah.
By the park, by Di Zavala Park, by
Yeah, around there. Wait,
Memos, yeah. The wow.
they moved it. It's nicer now. It's more
I
modern.
went one time and I never went back. I don't know. It's just me about locations and authenticity. It loses it when they move.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we used to go there all the time.
We used to go to me and my grandparents used to go to like the original
Yeah.
place, that one I know, and then I have not gone to the new one. Like I just went to pick up food for my mom, but I didn't eat
One
there.
time we went and we like, no, let's go to Southwest or let's go to Oloquilta to get the. We go to Emmanuel sometimes, right? Yeah. Yeah. Like,
There's the one too by Austin. There's like a pupuseria, like Austin the high school.
Yeah.
It's like
on telephone.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new one that you keep telling me about.
It's not new. It's been there for a while.
Yeah, it's been there, but I don't know the name. That's the one that when I go with my tia Sonia, the one I showed y'all the picture, that's the one when we go eat breakfast, that's the one we meet at. That's like she likes that one better than the Loculta.
All the foods that I like from her family is the fideo, because we don't eat fideo. The fideo is, oh my god, you got to have it. And then the mole. Her mom makes mole, chicken mole. Oh my god. I told Suera, when you gonna make food, Suera? I'll cook for you later. All right. So I'm always teasing like, Suera, make the pollo, the mole, or make the fideos. We fight, like we always fight. Like my mom can make the fideo. Like grandma's like, I tell you, mom, don't cook the fideo. Stick to what she knows how to cook.
And so how was it for you, like once how everything just happened so fast? How was that like with your family, like with your mom, like when you told her, oh yeah, I'm a rapper and I'm making money off of this now? Because as Hispanics, I know that it's like, if a man's not working labor, then you're not really working, so it's just like...
She didn't get used to it till years later. Because her friends kids will tell her, that the Ruth's son is famoso. And then, and then my mom tell me, my more than few friends of my friends telling me that you famous. I'm like, how famous are you? I don't know, Mom. But one day they invited me to Telemundo in the morning, and she watches. I forgot what's the name of the show. I still have it on my phone, and it was in the morning. It was a morning show on Telemundo on Univision.
Univision. Is it Despierta America? No, right?
No.
No.
Which one's that one?
It's one from here. It's the TV show from here. It's Univision. I don't know what the name on. But the lady's known because it comes out on the TV, but it's in the morning show. Mm-hmm. So they invited me to go, and they made me perform and everything. She's seen the show. And then her friend sees the show, and he said, no, sí es famoso.
Yeah.
He been on Univision. And I've been in New York as well. I did a morning show with the Pacha. It's called Pacha. It's one of the biggest radio stations in New York. Daddy Yankee went there. Bad Bunny has gone there. All the big guys have gone there. And I brought it and put it in my video. So for my side of my mom, for their side of my wife's family, it took few years for my father-in-law to call me Low G, because he always called me Wilson. And when I knew he called me Low G, that was one of the biggest achievement for myself, to say, wow, I think I am somebody right about now. Because if my father-in-law, because he's older, 75, called me because he said, Logi, come over here, my friend wants to meet you. I was shocked. I was proud. I was like, I even told my girl, I was like, that called me Logi. I was like, and it was a a great feeling.
Yeah,
for me.
like an accomplishment.
Yes,
yeah.
it's like wow. You know?
So my question is, where did Logi come from?
Yeah, where'd you get that from?
Because honestly, I didn't know your name was Wilson, but Wilson is a very Central American name.
Oh yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, to me, it's
Wilson.
very American.
Wilson? Well, if you
Well,
say it
in
in English,
English,
but
yeah.
it's like Wilson, like that's so.
Wilson.
Yeah, it's such a that's like a Central American
All
name.
my cousins got American names like Wilmer, Wendy,
Wilmer.
Walter. Like,
Sí.
I don't know if they
Oh,
ripped
wow.
the damn thing from my book and from a telephone book.
Like el de todos con a W.
El Marvin. Man, they all got an American name. Wilmer,
Will,
that's my cousin's name, Wilmer.
My dad was his name's Melvin.
Melvin, yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot of names. I don't know why. I think I was getting prepared. And some people told me, is that your real name? I'm like, yeah. So in school, when they say Wilson, it was just me in the whole neighborhood. I was only one dude named Wilson. So when they snitched to me or whatever happened, I whooped somebody or I did something, the cops will already know who they were looking for.
Yeah.
We know who is him. It was Wilson, yeah, we know who was him. So Low G came from part of when I started going to middle school and the lowriders.
Oh, okay.
I love the way they dress with the suspenders and the Dickies and the Cortezes or the Converse. I love that. So one day I would dress all cholo, and the next day I would put my Jordans with my jersey and my hat, and my earrings, and I would look. They would call them gangsters, like oh you gangstered out. So it was a balance of the low riding gangster, and that's where the name came in. Because I would be both at the same time, and then my music reflected. Because sometimes I would rap all in Spanish, and then the next day I'm doing a song like I did a Swinging in My Lag, and there's kind of like a Houston culture with the boy T. We did about 10 million views in that song, and it's funny that I'm able to do both. I could just go all in Spanish and I could go all in English and be accepted.
And how was that? I was gonna say, were you accepted? Because it's different. Like whenever you want to represent two things, it's either you're one or the other. You know, like how was it in the communities for you?
Well accepted because. When we do music like Swinging in My Lag or in my city, well, I just told you, I just dropped the song, Baby Girl, and you have the guys who make those spokes posted in their site. That's an approval that the people that make songs, like guys that make songs for a living, they're on that swinging type of music. Yeah, they don't get picked up. And for me, just to go and I made something to me. I told my girl, look, babe, fucking Texas wearing wheels just went and put the song, and how the fuck they knew it was out, and they went and put it in their Instagram. Yeah, and it's incredible that you have guys that's their style of rapping, but they don't get so quick accepted for what they're doing. Yeah, and I mean I'm blessed to be for the people, for you listeners and for your followers on the podcast. I'm on a movie called The Dirty Third with DJ Screw, with Slim, with ESG and Carlos. That's a legendary movie. They could go watch it on, I think on YouTube. It's on YouTube. And because that movie, I used to stay with DJ Screw at his house. We used to go to the studio before he got famous. I didn't know he was going to be who he is now. Mm-hmm. And I go back to going to because when they were drinking lean, they would drink on Sprite, and every time we showed up, we would bring Fanta, and then Fat Patty used to make fun of us like, man, I know that them Mexican was over here. Look, it's Fanta all over the place, man. Like, things like that, you know. And now my daughter, because she's real into music, not too much my son, but my daughter was like, Dad, you know, you work with DJ Screw. I said, yeah, they rap about. You know, but we lived that era. We were right there with them. Power Moves. If you pay attention, the double CD has the face of DJ Screw on one side of the CD, and us on the other side. So that's the only time that DJ Screw put his face on something other than his own music. Yeah. So that meant a lot to. That was like approval from the whole entire city, and our homies. Like I'm real good friends with Zero, Flip. Rest in peace, Fat Pat, Big Mo, Big Pokey. I mean, real good friends with Kiki, and we go do shows with Kiki, Slim. I mean, we were always out of town doing shows, and I grew up not doing music with the guys, but I grew up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that era. And my daughter reminds me that you part of that history. That
Yeah.
And I'm so humble about it. I'm just okay. I know, but I won't go. I'm saying it right now because I'm, with you guys and feel comfortable to say. But I never go around and be like, oh man, nah. I'm still caught up that I'm part of that generation.
Yeah, porque you still live a life where you're a regular dad, you're a husband, you're somebody, yes, in the music industry, pero tú también, you just take it like, I'm just living a regular life, right?
Well, it's like, you know how, like, Kim Kardashian with her daughter, North, like, that the daughter pone videos, and then it's just, at the end of the day, she's just a mom with her daughter, like, it's just, she's a big person, right?
Yeah.
And
but it's either, it could go either way. It's either you're gonna get big-headed about it, and be like, oh shit, I used to whatever do this and that with these people, or you're gonna live it and then act like como que
and stay like humilde about
humilde,
it. Yeah.
So that's pretty.
And that just you brought it up. ¿Será que porque vine de un pueblito chiquito?
I would think, right?
Que mi abuelito me dijo, ¿sabes qué, mijo? Eres un campesino, eres un niño de una aldea chiquita. No importa a dónde vayas o a dónde te lleve la vida, siempre vas a ser de aquí. De aquí eres, aunque te hagas muy grande. Entonces, a veces me pongo a reflejar lo que me dice mi abuelito y hasta ahí, como dices tú, humilde. Me quedo, a lot of people me dice, ¿sabes qué, Roger? Me gustas como eres porque eres bien humilde y even though que eres alguien en la comunidad. And that's just me. I love just to be. And there's times that my inner me and the ego plays part on certain, like, because there's some egotistic people in the world, like, oh man, I'm gonna say hi to that dude, or do you know who I am? And I laugh. I'm like, pobrecitos, like how they grow up on how they were brought up in their life, that they need to feel, be noticed and recognized.
Yeah.
My wife tells me all the time, babe, what babe? You gonna go to Walmart like that in chanclas and tu greñas, así greñoso? Like, no, babe, go put something up because somebody's gonna recognize it. And I'm like, I got one chancla red and all them black, and I'm going.
He's going to Walmart.
It always never fails that somebody recognizes me, and I'm like, shit, you were right, baby. Fuck, I should have put me on. Todo el pelo del gato y todo. Like, and then my daughter, Dad, no. Go get your hat. Go get. I'm like, when I get tired of being Jesus, I just want to be Wilson. I just want to be me. I just want to go and just disappear for a little bit. And I have a battle with that, like you said. How your average day is? Well, what am I gonna do? Walk out as Low G or walk out as Wilson? Well, I mean, just in case, let's have the hat, let's have everything, just in case I get an encounter with somebody.
Yeah.
They always tease me about
That's
that.
so funny, porque we're obviously not like at your level, right? Pero like, even the podcast, a veces antes, I would be like, oh my God, like I don't like to put makeup on, or me da flojera, right? So then I used to get like lash extensions done, but I don't do that anymore. And when we started, to me, that was just enough, right? And then when I stopped doing them, I was like, man, I'm going to come out on an episode and it's going to be on YouTube forever. Like, y así me voy a ver. But then now I'm just like, at the end of the day, nobody makes the rules. It's our life and we're doing us,
Sometimes
you know?
ella está con la cobija.
I know, porque I'm like, tengo frío. Like, I'm a human. Like, I can't be the only girl that gets cold. You know, like, I'm cold, tengo mi blanket, and I'm just here talking to people. Like,
yeah, and it may be that it's just in the comfort of our own house or algo,
yeah.
But
well, if we get a studio, I'm gonna have a cobija there too.
No, but I've always told her too. I'm like, nah, we make the rules. Like, I don't know other podcasts how they work or whatever, but this is how we work. I don't have anybody above me telling me, like, managing me, like, oh, hey, make sure you don't whatever. I'm like, nah, pues.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, like, we're not superior to anybody, but nobody's superior to us either.
Yes, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, todos somos humanos, right? So it's just like, treat everybody with the respect you want to be treated, you know? And I think that's just how we go about with all our guests. guests, you know, because we had some people that are literally on here as guests that are starting out, you know. And then we have like you here that you just lived a full life of like your dream, you know, and it's just like, it's different, but it's just a matter of just giving the respect to everybody. So.
Yeah,
let me ask you something. How you guys respond to cocky people and to entitlement people? How
on
you
here?
Or here and out and about, like.
Oh, bro, if it's like, we do get ugly comments. And honestly, the ugly comments, a lot of the time, they're towards me. Like, that's what I was saying. So I don't know what it is, but Roland sí se enoja. Like, he replies back to the comments and he talks shit. But I don't pay attention because I tell him, I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like, I mean, who are these people to tell me I'm like a narcissist or that I'm like dumb and things like that, you know, porque sí ponen cosas así. I don't let it get to me, but I know he does. But on our podcast here, I think we've said it on here. We've only had like 1 or 2 people that came real like highly, like que se sintieron como high, pero the way we responded to that was just like talking to them like if they're normal. Because at the end of the day, everybody's normal. You know, we're again.
Yeah, and then that's just on the podcast though.
Yeah, on the podcast.
Una vez, like one, because I design, right? I'm a graphic designer. So I did a design for an artist. Y one time we talked and it was like a paid thing and everything, but we showed love to each other and everything. And then I went to this show and he was there. He wasn't, did he perform? I don't know if he performed that day, but he was there, you know, and I went up and I'm like, oh shit, this is the dude that I worked with, you know, and then I'll go up to him. I'm like, what's up, bro? I did your design. And me mira, he looked at me and he's like, all right, bro. And then like, dio la vuelta así and he stayed at the bar with, and I was like, damn, like that shit, like it pissed me off, bro. Like I'm a very hot-headed guy, you know, and I'm like,
he is.
And I'm like, man, like he's a hoe, you know, like it really pissed me off. And then ever since then, I kind of just like stayed away from him and shit. But things like that, it's just, I kind of take this mentality that my dad has where he'll be cool with people, but si they do him wrong or whatever, pues he's not going to tell them anything, but he's just not going to work with them again. Or he's just...
Because cuando pasó eso, I told him, I was just like, one, it's just like, if he's gonna act like that, we don't need him to be a part of our life. Yeah. You know, like para nada. Like, and it was one of those things. Like, honestly, that's just really like how it is. You know, and again, with the podcast is we bring people here that we just feel like have something to offer to the people that are watching.
Hey, and one day, I don't know, shit, he might reach out and be like, hey, can I jump on the podcast or something, you know, pero...
No.
and honestly, I don't know how I would react. I mean...
I think there's some people that I hear this a lot in the entertainment business. You gotta be cocky if you want to blow up in this game. You gotta be cocky and you gotta be like, you know, like this obnoxious type of person if you want to blow up. And I hear a lot, you know, humble people don't get to come up in the business because there's no interest on what you got going. And sometimes I ask myself like, you know, like I think about it and like. But I can't be that person. Like,
yeah,
like
I don't think that's true though. Like I don't think so porque sí siento que like if you're yourself, like, and with God's guidance, like you can get anywhere, really, you know.
You know what? I don't know, man. I'm gonna say something off camera though. I'll say it off camera. I was gonna say it right now, pero yeah.
Okay, well we'll say it off camera. But yeah, I think that's not true. In my opinion, I just feel like you just if you are gonna pretend and you do get there, then you really got there. Like I
think it's a quicker way to get there, you know.
Yeah, it could be
controversy, cosas así. Like it's definitely a quicker way. Pero what's the longevity on that? I mean, are you always going to play this character? You know, or are you going to change up?
And then when you change it up, they're not going to like you because that's not who you were at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know? So, to me, it's just like, no. Like again, nosotros con el podcast, like, si nos han dicho, like, oh, okay, do this and do that. And we're just, our response is really like, well, this is our podcast. Nobody makes the rules. Like, we make our rules. It's ours, you know, it's our baby. Like, we came up with this at Hooters while we were drinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, nobody's gonna come and tell us, like, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. Because this is how you're gonna get, you know. We'll take the advice and just go our way with it, you know. And I think that's how we'll go about that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I could tell you guys got something good going on. It attracted my attention.
Thank you.
I'm I can say grateful to be here with you guys. I enjoy every moment of it. It's like I said, I feel like I know you for too long. Like it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. I can have my guard down and be myself.
Yeah.
I don't have to be somebody that I'm not and be like, okay, well, I'm going there on slow G. I'm more here like my own, in behalf of myself. And yes, I'm an artist. I'm not more important than the next person. Maybe I lived through a lot of other things than other people, and I've been in places that other people have not. But that don't make me special. That just my destination has been different than other people. But if I could bring something to a new artist or somebody who's listening to here and want to know the recipe of success, but there's no recipe. It's like you said, we make it. We make it our own. And some of us are going to get there easy and some of us going to get there longer. But it's a song from, rest in peace, Vicente Fernandez, that I always heard before I was rapping. Llorar y llorar. And what he said, what he said, un herrero told me que no hay que llegar primero, pero hay que saber llegar. And that's what he said. It's not about getting there first. It's how you got there.
Yeah.
And you might got it there a little longer than other people, but you got there. And the people who was behind you are happy for you because they seen the struggle, what it took you to get there.
Yeah.
And, for the new artists, whether they doing music, whether they doing clothing, whether they doing painting, whatever they doing, I want you guys to know that don't follow nobody's recipe. It's maybe you get hints from here and there, what he did, how he did it, but at the end of the day, is keep fighting, keep pushing for your dreams. Don't get discouraged if you are stumbling or you don't have as much as other people have, or they have more followers than you, and you don't. Keep going, because at the end of the day, you're gonna reach the right people. There's people that need people like yourself, like myself in this world, to communicate and to feel good about what they're doing.
Yeah.
For sure. Honestly.
That's like a perfect way to wrap it up right there.
Yeah. And honestly, as you guys can't see, you can see his camera, but it's died already, but it's cool.
That's a perfect way. Yes.
But again, Logi, appreciate you coming on the podcast, bro.
Yes, thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
it
we
was
really had a
great
good conversation with you. And I hope, wish you more success on everything, But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the episode.
Yes. And just check the information in the description.
Yes, sir. And that's it. Peace.
Out.
Yes.